Hey everybody, welcome back to Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff. We're heading back over to the lathe again today because when my Patreon people over at patreon.com/wooden things and stuff request a custom bowl to give to their daughter, that's what we do. So we're going to turn this chunk of cherry into a bowl for my boy Beckham's daughter Tina today, if I don't wreck it. Come along. Bowl day. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to start by picking what side we want to be the top, or where do we want to go in and where do we want to come out. This particular blank has a strip of sapwood across here. Normally I like leaving strips of sapwood in bowls because I think it adds a nice little dimension, accent, etc., etc. But for this particular one, I don't think it works because if I come in, if this is the top and it's got one strip of sapwood just like right around that part of the rim, I'm not sure that's going to be, it might be cool, but I'm not sure. If there was another one over here, like if there was a mimicked sapwood side over here and there was going to be sap on either edge, I probably would go this side being the inside. But there isn't, so we're gonna come in here and we're gonna get rid of that sapwood, I think. And then it'll just be all cherry heartwood. So that makes this the side that the faceplate goes on. And then we'll get it chucked up on the lathe. We'll get it centered. Or at least close enough to it that it's not gonna shake the lathe too bad when I start spinning it. All right, so Beckham knows darn well that I'm not going to have a plan going into this because that's not how I do bowls. Because he shows up to my weekly live turning practice show on Saturday nights, and he knows that I basically just start by making it round and then start cutting into it and see what happens. And apparently he trusts me because that's what I'm going to do to his daughter's bowl here. Let's spin it up. Get it round, start making cuts, and see what kind of shape comes out of it. Yeah, that's how I do this. All right. And we're round. Whew. Okay, here we go. Let's see what it becomes. I am currently at about 1200 RPM. Like that. That is pretty graceful little sweeps. Up and then nice little cove. Maybe a little bit of a rim across around the top. Yeah, I like that. Let's put a recess in the bottom. Flatten it off. Sand it up. And flip it around. And once I get in a little ways, I like to make sure that I know where I'm at. So I will start by giving myself the depth I want to go to by sort of just eyeballing on the side of the bowl down to, I don't know, a 1/4 inch above where I figure the tenon or the mortise is on the bottom of the bowl. And then I'll mark that with a piece of tape on my ruler. And then I can just keep checking against that in the middle of the inside of the bowl, so I hopefully don't end up going through the bottom. And I'm 1.5 inches deep, and I can go to about 2.5, so can keep hogging away without too much worry for a little while longer. And then once I get down to approximate depth, I can start working on thinning out the walls. Because right now I'm just sort of slowly getting thicker and thicker walls as I go in, as I get towards the bottom. And then I can come back and thin out the walls of the bowl once I know that I'm to depth. Or once I think I'm to depth. I'm just about 2. I'll come back once I'm getting close and I start thinning out the walls, because then it'll be something else to be watching. See you in a minute. Alright, I am about, well, I'm less than a 1/4 inch from my mark, so that's a good place to stop going to depth. And now we can start thinning out the walls, get those, and then sort of slowly, gradually blend those into where I'm at the bottom, and that will take a little bit more off the bottom as I'm blending those curves together. So that's why I don't want to go to full depth right now, because that would be bad later. Alright, let's start thinning out the walls. I do that generally with my round tipped carbide tool. And I just slowly work the walls down to where I want them, and then I can blend the bottom in. And now I take a break, because I'm getting close, and I don't want to get all like, it's almost done, and then start going a little bit too fast or too hard, or, you know, that's when you make a mistake. So I've still got a little bit that I can take off the walls. I can blend that curve a little bit better, and I can get a little flatter on the bottom. But that is a good thing to do in a little while. Alright, we're back at it. It's actually been up there for a couple of days because Christmas happened. And I had other things that I needed to do. So the first thing that we're going to do, because this has been up here for a couple of days, is we're going to make sure that it's still tight, because when you leave wood unattended, it tends to move on you. And I want to make sure that that tenon, or that mortise, is still nicely locked in there. Hopefully we're still pretty round. Yeah, okay, it didn't move very much at all. Wood tends to go a little bit crazy when you start cutting fibers and changing the internal stresses and things on it, and then leaving it laying around. So let's get the rest of this inside all cut out, and then we'll get her finished and shipped off to New York. All right, where's my mask? There it is. What I'm doing here is I'm just marking off things where the transition isn't quite as smooth as I would like it to be between sections. So like with the pencil, so I can just finish smoothing that out, and then we'll get to sanding and finish and we'll be all done. That's pretty good transition in there. Pretty flat. We are at depth. Let's get sanding. Might actually bring that rim a little more slopey into the inside, just to lighten up the look of it a little bit. There we go. We are up to 400. We'll give that a quick wipe with the tack cloth to get rid of the dust. And we'll get some oil and some wax in there. And we'd be done. Yeah. All right. Let's get that buffed in nice and deep. Drive it down into the pores. Get that soaked in. Buff a little bit more into the outside. And we'll let that sit on there for a bit, and we'll come back and do another coat. All right. Well, there we go. One cherry bowl from my boy Beckham's daughter, Tina. It's just under 7 inches across. It's about 3 inches deep. It's a nice little bowl. It'll make for a nice piece for her office or home or entryway or wherever it is that she's putting this. I could get this in the post, as they say in Britain, I guess. And send it off to New York. Thanks for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. We'll see you next time. It's a nice graceful shape on that one. Pretty happy with it. Bye for now.